Maybe I just found the answers. Maybe I just found the answers in you. Come give me all your love. I want you to know we can make it together. Let the wind blow. All we need is each other. Come take my hand, you're all that I have now. I won't let you go, 'cause I found all the answers in you. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, so I just put the kids down for a nap. Actually, I was getting cranky, so I just put them down, and I'm gonna do a little moment of self-care because my face is breaking out pretty bad right now. And I recently got my Ipsy bag, and it came with a little mask in it, so I figured I was gonna go and put it on. Super Bounce Mask. Glow and Pump by Sand and Sky. So yeah, I haven't done a face mask in a while because I like never have anyone. I never have one anymore. So I figured I would put this on to help my skin out a bit, because like I said, it's breaking out pretty bad right now. All over here, a lot of texture everywhere. My chin, forehead, there's an eyelash stabbing me in the eye. Oh yeah. so while I let this sit, I wanted to just chat about what has been going on, because I know one of the last videos that I posted was saying how we changed our minds and decided to go ahead and hire a realtor. So we signed with the realtor last week, and then literally the next day we had an appointment. Well, we had a couple of appointments that people made with us when they called while we were in South Carolina after we put the sign outside, and after we made the Zillow posting ourselves, we had people calling wanting to look at it. And like, we set up a couple appointments to happen after we got back to Ohio after Easter. So we had, I think we had one person come like that morning. I think we had one person come in the morning and look at the house, and then the realtor came the next day, I want to say, I don't remember exactly. And that's when we signed the papers with the realtor. While we were in South Carolina, though, there was people, like, there was this person's realtor that reached out saying, hey, we have a cash buyer. They're willing to buy sight unseen, like, blah, 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 blah. And we were kind of like, well, we've got some showings going on, and we wanted to wait and see what all offers we got first to make sure we were getting, like, highest price or whatever. And then the realtor came back and was like, never mind, we found something while we were waiting to come look at it or whatever it was. So we like just were like, okay, well, cross that off of the list or whatever. We signed with the realtor. She like gave us this checklist, was like, okay, we're gonna schedule you for pictures on Friday, and then the listing should go up either later that day or Saturday after I get all the pictures back. And once it goes live, we will get calls. I'll schedule showings, and they were like, you know, you got to keep it clean, like very, very, very clean. And she was like, so how much of a warning do you need, like 1 hour or 2 hour? And I'm like, hell, I kind of need a whole day's worth of warning to get this house in order with these kids and stuff. But I said like 2 hours or something like that. And she gave us this list that we needed to have done before the pictures, which was like, you know, everything needs to be spotless. You have to hide all wires and cords, and you have to hide all pet items. You can't, like, it can't look like a pet lives here. You have to hide all of your soap dispensers and your dish soap and your sponges, and like, you should put a bowl of fruit on the counter or put a bouquet of flowers on the table, and like all of this stuff. And you have to like really pick up the yard and clean it up and everything. And we had 1 day to get all of that done, which the house was relatively clean because we had been cleaning it for the other showings and stuff, so it was clean, but there still was a lot of work that would have had to be done, that needed to be done to get the pictures done, like hiding all of our personal items and stuff like that. And most of cleaning up the yard was the big part, because the yard isn't the cleanest because of the weather. It was snowing when we first like came back, and then every time Christopher tries to mow, it's raining, or it had rained, so the grass was all wet and he couldn't mow. So the yard was like the biggest test that we were worried about getting done. The next day or something like that, the realtor with a cash buyer reached back out and was like, yeah, so the other thing fell through, so can we still come look at your house and see what that deal is or whatever? And we were like, yeah, sure. The cash buyer came with their realtor to look at the house, and like they walked through the house, and the realtor was saying like they had just sold their house in Texas and needed to find something to buy here because they were like living out of hotels and stuff like that. So they were trying to get into something as soon as possible, and like they had just sold their house, so they like had the cash on hand or whatever. and they saw the house and they really liked it, and then they were trying to talk to us, and it's like our original asking price was $116 for the house, which is basically what it was like estimated to be appraised at on like Zillow and stuff. Nike, come on. And they were like, you know, we can do that. We can give you $116 cash right now. Not like right then, but you know what I mean. And they were like, we really want this house. Like, we were supposed to go look at 2 other houses after this, but we don't even want to go look at them. We want to cancel those and just like come to an agreement right here, right now, basically. So Christopher was like, well, you know, we were trying to like keep showing it and see what kind of offers we were getting, to see like what the highest we could sell for would be. And they were like, he was like, I'd be open to going under contract right now with you if you did $120 instead. And like they were like, yeah, that's fine, we don't care, we have the money, we want the house. And like the realtor showed us her bank account, like her balance or whatever, to prove that they had the money. So we agreed on $120 cash with them. And they were like, yeah, we don't want you to show the house anymore. We don't want it to be on the market. We don't want to look anymore. We just want to buy this house. Like, we want you to agree to sell to us and us to go under contract right now. So we agreed on $120, and they left, and like the realtor sent us like different papers that we needed to fill out. So basically, we are under contract with those people, with a cash buyer, which it kind of was a hard decision, especially being put on the spot like that. Because on one end, like, a cash buyer is super quick and easy, less stress, like you don't have to worry about appraisal issues with the bank, and it's a quicker process. Instead of having to wait on the bank loans and all of that stuff to go through. So it's a much quicker process, and it's easier on us. Like, everything is like set, like we agreed to the terms. They wanted a home warranty since they were buying cash, which was like $500 1-year warranty or something like that. But actually their realtor agreed to pay for that, but we do have to pay for their realtor's commission. So their realtor agreed to pay the home warranty, which she didn't even, like, we didn't even know that she was gonna do that. We just read the contract and saw it in there that she was paying for it, and it was like, okay, cool. But yeah, like, we're selling everything as is. We don't have to do anything to the house but move out and like straighten up. So it's like, it's a quicker, simpler process, and we were like, it's cool, it's still a good amount of money, and it's less, like, shorter, less stressful process. We really want to just get this over with so we can start looking for our house in South Carolina and buy our house in South Carolina, because right now we're kind of stuck at a standstill trying to sell this house before we can move to South Carolina and start looking for a house in South Carolina. But then on the other end, we were kind of like, but it was kind of like a what if situation. Like, well, what if we had gone through with the realtor and she had gotten us like a higher bid than that, and this and that. Like, we were worried that we were settling for less. We were worried that we were settling for less than what we could potentially get for the house. Like, if the realtor had been able to get us like 125, 130, something like that. But at the same time, the realtor did kind of freak us out a bit, because basically, like, if we ask for so much for the house, and then once the house is appraised by the bank isn't going to approve anyone's loan for more than what the house is appraised at. So if the house isn't appraised for 120 and they don't have the cash difference to make up what the bank's going to loan them, then they're not going to be able to buy this house. And we have no idea what the house would be appraised at, so I was kind of worried that, you know, it only would be appraised at, say, 116 or something around there, and that means that we would be stuck only getting around that much because that's all anyone would be approved for, basically. And also, then most likely there would be more fees that way as well, because like if we went through with our selling realtor, we would have to obviously pay her commission, on top of most likely paying the buyer's realtor's commission, because that's usually how it goes. The seller usually pays for both realtors. The more that the house sells for, the more you're gonna pay. It's like it could end up being a lot more in commission fees. It could have been a lot more in closing costs and what's it called? Like, what's the other one? Property taxes and stuff like that. Like, she estimated that closing costs altogether would be around 8-9% of what you sell the house for. It basically brings us out to the same number, but more stress and more work. You know, like having to keep the house spotless and having to get me, both kids, and both dogs out of the house at the drop of a hat. She calls me, hey, people want to come look at the house in 2 hours. Okay, cool. I would have to like make sure everything was straightened up and get me and all of the kids and all of the dogs out of the house so that the realtor could then bring people to look at it. So that on itself was going to be a lot of stress, having to just be like able to drop everything and do that, which is really hard for us because, you know, I've got my school assignments that I have to do. I've got YouTube that I have to run, like cooking and like the cleaning, and just like if I'm trying to get anything done and all of a sudden she's like, you gotta leave, I have someone that wants to come look, then it's like, it's gonna mess up a lot of my stuff. So I'm kind of just hoping that we made the right decision and that this was gonna be the easiest and best way for us to get a good amount of money to walk away from this whole situation with. Like I said, we're selling as is. There's no appraising, there's no inspections, and our tentative closing date right now is May 10th, which is, right now it's April 28th. So that's like less than 2 weeks away. It's very fast. Usually going through like with a mortgage type thing, it takes like 30 to 60 days, I think, maybe even more, depending on the situation. Whereas with cash buying, it typically only takes 2 to 3 weeks. Like the only thing that you have to wait on for cash buying is the title company has to do a title search on the house. And besides that, it's like we already signed the contracts and came to agreement on the terms. And then after that, you know, we just have to sign the final paperwork and the title company disperses the money. So the title company will send what we owe to the bank to pay off the mortgage, and they'll like send whatever has to go to property taxes, whatever goes to the realtor, whatever goes to closing costs. Like they'll do that, and then whatever's left over they will give to us. I think Christopher signed up for them to do it through direct deposit. So like that's all that we have to do, like all we have to wait on. And then hopefully like once we do get the money back and we like get out of here, get our U-Haul, get everything out of the house and get to South Carolina and get stuff put in storage or whatever else, so we can start looking around for a house down there, we'll have like that profit for a down payment, as well as once we take his annuity out, that's another like $16,000 to add on to that price for us to use as a down payment to help us like get better terms and be approved for like the house that we need, the house that we want, because this house has started to feel too small for us. It's been feeling too small for us. It feels very cluttered, and like it just, has always felt unorganized because there's little storage space for our family here. It's a nice house and it served us well enough. It's just, it feels too small for us now. So we need to upgrade, essentially. There's a lot of features that I have always felt like this house lacks and I would really want in my next house, as well as we just need more space overall, more storage overall in the next house, which also means a higher price because you can't get more house for the same price, obviously, especially in the market right now. But we don't want to be stuck living with family for a long time because it's going to be very hard. Not having your own space. My grandma's house is very, very crammed. Me and 2 kids in 1 bedroom. Can't move a whole other adult in there. So Christopher's gonna be like staying at his grandma's house. I'm sure we would kind of like go back and forth with who stays where. I don't know exactly how it would work. But it's just gonna be very complicated and very stressful, and it's gonna be a huge like mental toll on us. So the sooner we can get into the next house, the better. But at the same time, I don't want to rush into anything, and like I don't want to settle for something and then in 1 to 2 years be like, okay, we hate this house. Like I want to make sure we find the right house that we're going to be happy in long term for 5, 10 at least years. So it's kind of like we're stuck at a crossroads with wanting to find the right house, but also not having a ton of time to look for the right house, which brings me to the point of I have an appointment today for a Zoom call with a place called Shoemaker Homes, which is a home building company. If you watched one of my last videos, we went and saw the model homes for them in South Carolina. There's some model homes here in Ohio that I really want to go look at if Christopher's work schedule allows it, because right now he's working 7/12. So he's gone a lot and we have no time for anything. So hopefully one of these days his work schedule will allow it, but we really want to go look at the model homes that they have here in Ohio so we can see like different floor plans, because Shoemaker Homes is in a couple of different like states and areas. I don't remember off the top of my head which ones, because building a house kind of has always been a dream for us because you really get to customize it and you really can get what you want out of it. But for 1, it can get expensive. For 2, we have to worry about the like the aspect of finding land. Finding land is really hard and expensive. And 3, you have to take into account the amount of time it takes for everything to be ready, because you have to go through the approval process, which takes time, and then you have to go through the like planning process, also takes time, and then obviously you have to go through the building process, which takes a lot of time. So the con for us is how long it takes for building a house to be move-in ready, because it's obviously not move-in ready and it won't be for months and months, at least 6 months. Like I think it's around 6 to 9 months is the 6 to 9 months is the baseline for how long it could take for you to be able to actually move into your house. So technically finding something that is already move-in ready would be like better for us, but at the same time I worry that we're not going to be able to find everything that we want in a house that's also in our price range, I guess. But that's why we're going to look into the building route to see if building and making sure we're getting what we want would be attainable for us, if that could be within our price range, which is why we're getting that quote today, which it sucks that I have to do it by myself now because Christopher's working. We originally thought that he was going to be here so we could both do it, or whatever that was, but he's not going to be here, so I have to do it by myself, which I am like anxious about because I'm just really awkward and like, I don't know. I just hope it goes well.
Hey Sandra.
Hello.
How are ya?
I'm good, how are you?
Doing fine, thank you. Can you see my screen okay?
Yeah.
I want to make sure I have your email address. Is this a good email address?
Yeah, a little bit.
Do you have, any favorite floor plans in mind?
I can't even remember them off the top of my head now. I think the Pompano 3 was one of them.
Yeah.
I do like the Santa Barbaras as well.
Okay. Well, talk to me a little bit about what you're looking for in a house.
I definitely want like a bigger kitchen with a lot of counter space and preferably like some sort of island or bar.
Okay.
And then I'm saying like an absolute minimum is 3 bedrooms, but if there is only 3 bedrooms, we would need some sort of like bonus room, flex space type thing to have like that 4th extra space if it's not 4 bedrooms.
Okay.
And then in the master bathroom, I definitely want to have like the soaking tub and the separate shower.
Okay.
So that's basically like the only like stipulations that I really have. Besides that, I'm not really super picky on anything.
Okay. Now in your bathroom, do you want 2 sinks? Or just you're okay with 1 sink with just a separate tub and a separate shower?
Yeah, I'm okay with 1. That went a lot quicker than I expected, but I mean, I'm kind of glad because I was really like anxious about it, and I didn't want to be on Zoom for forever because I just hate that. But she's writing up a quote, and I'm guessing she's just gonna. Okay, so my camera battery died, and I completely forgot what I was even like saying. It died mid-sentence, but basically we were only on the Zoom call for like 8 minutes, literally. But told her the like floor plan we were looking at, explained what our key like points were and what we wanted. Here, I'll try to show you what she explained to me if I can find the floor plan. But she did email me back. I just got the email a few minutes ago is why I picked the camera back up. For me to look at it. Okay, here it is. So on their website, if you come to this one, the Pompano 4-bed, 2-bath, it's a little over 1,700 square feet. It doesn't come with a garage though, which I mean, Christopher said he's willing to not have one, but having one is nice, obviously, but it won't be, having a garage in the north is much more of like a game changer for us because of the weather up here. But down in South Carolina, it doesn't really snow like it does here, so a garage isn't like a super deal breaker for us. But yeah, basically like here's the general outside of it, except like once you actually sit down and do all of the official designing, like you can choose your actual exterior colors or whatever. This was just a basic price quote. Don't take my snack. So this is the original floor plan. So you can see there's a living room here, there's a dining room here, and then the kitchen over here. There's a back door which has a little porch, it looks like. It has a nice like big front porch, which is nice. There's a bathroom here, then there's 3 bedrooms right here. And then on this side, there's the master bedroom with the master bath and the walk-in closet. And then the laundry room was over here. I like this because it is 1 story, and I like to avoid like more than 1 story houses. This, like a 1 story house is my ultimate preference, but it is something that I have learned to like be more open when it comes to it. Like at one point I literally was like, absolutely has to be all 1 story, like no exceptions, but now I'm kind of like, more open to it not being all one story, but this one is one story anyways. Okay, so basically what she explained to me is she said she would take this bathroom right here, the second bathroom, and move it to over here with these 2 bedrooms, and this right here would turn into like a laundry room slash pantry. And she said she would turn this kitchen into like an L kitchen with the corner pantry right here. Hopefully you can like see my mouse over there. So basically like this right here would be your corner pantry with like an L kitchen, and then they would add an island over here somewhere. And then obviously the dining room's here. And then the laundry room, like I said, would be moved over here. That way the master bathroom could be extended to fit the tub and the shower. So that, it was like a few minor tweaks to it, basically. So this is the base investment, custom options, subtotal base investment with custom options is here. And then home site prep and utilities is that, which, holy cow, that's a lot. Which brings you down to this number right here, I'm assuming is total investment, like obviously includes all of that. So it's a little over, it's a little under 290. But, you know, this is dependent on how much work your land will need to be built on and such like that. So this is just a lot of stuff for us. This is a lot of stuff for us to consider. Which, once again, as much as I would love to build, I'm not going to say that this option is completely out right now. But with as much as I want to build, I do worry that it's just going to be too long of a process for us and we're not going to be able to make it work. I've been going on Zillow almost every single day, just looking at houses and like stuff being added and seeing if I can find the right house, which I have found some that I like. But obviously we can't go see the houses in person until we're in South Carolina, which once we do get back to South Carolina, I do hope to start setting up actual showings to go look at houses in person. And once again, we need to finish getting our pre-approvals, pre-qualification stuff squared away so that we know our actual budget. That way we're not like looking over budget or whatever. That way we can actually start putting offers on houses and hopefully get something soon. So positive vibes sent our way, please, to help like this be as smooth as possible and things go well for us and we get it all figured out, because we're under a lot of stress trying to figure this stuff out. I just hope that it'll all be worth it in the end.
Scars start to heal when I'm with you, and I can't explain how I feel when I'm with you. Just give a little bit of your heart, give a little bit of your heart to me.